Wow. Welcome to That Pedal Show. Dan here.
Mick here.
And
Madison Cunningham here.
ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Grammy Award winning Madison Cunningham. My goodness. Thank you so much for taking time out of your incredibly busy schedule to come and hang out with us.
Happy to be here. Genuinely happy to be here.
Amazing.
It's a big day for us. Maddie's on tour in Europe at the moment, coming through the UK, and is kind enough to stop off this morning at That Pedal Show to geek out a little bit, talk guitar, and catch up on all things. Dan and I will barely try to hide the fact we are both massive fans, so we'll do the ass kissing now, right? And then
I'm not hiding anything.
Hopefully we can move past it as we go on. But thanks for joining us. How's it been? You're on the road.
It's been good. I mean, it kind of is never not exhausting, but that doesn't mean it's not truly joyful. It just means that like the sort of schedule within like routine is all completely fragmented and chopped up, and you have to be a person that is flexible. So I like relearn how to be that person when I'm traveling like this, you know.
Because so we're touring Ace, or you're touring Ace, which means there's more stripped down band for this tour?
Yeah, it's just a duo. It's myself and Jesse Chandler, who's playing like every woodwind that you can imagine, and then synth bass and mellotron strings and blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. Like, it literally looks, you'll see it tonight. His job looks impossible, but he makes it sound seamless. So,
amazing.
Yeah, he's a special human.
Awesome. Okay, well, what we're going to cover in this video, it would be great to do a little history stuff, Maddie, because you've never been on the show before, so to fill some of that stuff in, obviously go through the board. We want to talk tunings, we want to talk all that stuff. Could we, just briefly, and I appreciate you've probably been asked this a million times, but guitar beginnings. Well, first question, guitar or piano first?
Kind of both.
Yeah.
I mean, technically guitar, but shortly after that started having piano lessons. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would say guitar first, if I was to be more precise. And
how did that kick off for you?
My dad is a guitar player, and I just kind of watched him. I was like 4 when I started like taking interest in like having him put the guitar on my lap, and it was big, and I was like, you know, tiny behind it, but then like started really trying to hold down chords when I was probably 6 or 7.
Wow.
And of course, you know, there's that buffer of time where it just sounds like shit. And there's all these home videos of my parents being like, oh, that's so cute. She's trying, you know. I think they totally weren't believers at the beginning, I have to say. The home videos prove that.
Wow.
I think they just thought, I mean, not that they weren't believers. I think they just thought it was genuinely kind of just cute to see like a young, small person being excited about, you know, guitar and stuff.
Did you become obsessed with it? Because I can only think the way that you play and, you know, listening to your first album and stuff, there just must have been the amount of time that you must have spent with music in general, but the way you play, it just must have been obsession.
Well, it's funny, at the beginning it felt like eating vegetables, and by the middle, like by my teen years, it felt like drinking chocolate milk. Like it changed. It turned into like a thing, and that's when the obsession started. When I was like probably 15 years old, I discovered electric guitar and was like, oh my God, there's so many possibilities, and you know, it's so different than playing an acoustic instrument. As a kid, I was really obsessed with sounding like a dude, like rhythmically. Right, yeah, like I was like, I've got to play like a guy, which is just sad. Like that's changing. I think people in the next generation aren't going to even need to say something like that. Like there's going to be so many female examples of excellence. But so I felt like, that was my main objective. And then electric guitar was so much more about like touch and feel and restraint, and then knowing when to like, and how to dig in without sounding. And you know, like when I started playing electric guitar, I was in a high school band, and I kept thinking like, I just sound so annoying because I'm so used to just, you know, hammering it out on an acoustic guitar, and I learned that feel. So that was a whole new journey, and that's a journey that I've been on, and obviously I've kind of gone backwards. But to me, it's still like it's still forward because it's my curiosity and love of the instrument continues to drive it, you know.
And always in the service of songwriting? Where's the dovetail?
I would say mainly. Like I love guitar, but I'm not. You're not gonna find me like queen of the nerds. Yeah. I
welcome to that.
Yeah, welcome to yeah. Like I think it's so funny these me in the context of an incredible show like this. I feel like you guys are gonna teach me about this pedal board because I'm instinct and like what is on this board is like. It's things that are functional and work for me, but I have not spent any time with manuals being like, oh, what is it? You know, and I should, and I have, and I will if it's needed, but like for the most part, it has to be easy and throw and go because the song has to be able to like happen seamlessly.
Yeah, I when we found out, well, when Mick told me that this was happening, and I was like, because I think I've certainly been a fan since. As soon as I heard Pin It Down, that was me all in. And when so you were, I think you recorded that when you were 21 or
21. Yeah.
And the so Pin It Down's the first song from, I guess, your official first album. You'd done, the stuff you'd done before.
Took it down, yeah.
But what I found fascinating was that song, and it leads to the board in a minute. When I heard that, it was the perfect rhythmically, and the groove is just amazing. The chord structure, the changes, then the melody that just floats above it, and that is. Goes through all of your stuff. Like it's there's so much music in everything. I'm like, oh, the pedals then seem so inconsequential as you know to all that. But then I'm seeing the stuff you did with Josh and your vibrato pedal. So you know, it'd be great to get into this today. But in service of the music that you write, you know, are you hearing this stuff and then the music happens and then you'll just work out sounds around that, or does the sound inform what you're writing?
It genuinely depends. I mean, I guess I'll take this tour as an example. Like, you know, all of it was written on a nylon guitar. Not all, I mean, and then piano. And then that was kind of interchangeable. But for this tour, I kind of had to construct this exact pedal board for the sounds that I was hoping to get. Like I spent a lot of time, more than I ever have, spent time dreaming about what sonic world I wanted to be brought into, how much like spontaneity I wanted built into the board.
Yeah.
Like how much like mystery too. Like there had to be like consistency, mystery, and spontaneity. Okay. And that's kind of where this originated. And so I kind of spent the most time that I had being like, ooh, what does the Galaxy do? And could it like provide feedback when I wanted it to? And could it, you know, and then is this the right file? Like I was the most nerdy that I ever let myself be, awesome. Which was really fun and actually really stressful, to be honest. Like I was really stressed out for like a lot of months and calling friends of mine who are you know, so invested in tone. And I've always been invested in that. And like, I'll go as far as I need to get there. But
especially in a duo situation.
Yes.
Where it's, you know,
it's so fragile, right? Like it's all based on tone, really.
Yeah.
Like, and note choices. And so all had to be very specific. But I will say it's really fun for me to talk about this board because it's homegrown. Like my dad built it.
I was going to ask.
Thanks, Dad.
Brilliant job.
Yeah, thanks, Dad. Yeah, and his like a dear family friend who started his own kind of like pedal board, like wiring company. It's called Volta Guitars. He wired the whole thing, and so my dad had the idea of like building it out of wood, painting it in that way, and then putting the inputs and outputs on the side of the board.
Right.
And so actually, this secondary output here is supposed to be stereo. So every pedal is wired to be stereo.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, you could hypothetically run it through 2 amps and get that cool wide sound.
Are you doing that live or just easier mono?
No, I'm just doing it mono, just because I'm mainly playing this guitar. It felt a little frivolous to travel with 2 amps for this, and I keep the amp really low, and it's a Princeton this time. So
cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. One more general question then before we get into the board. You said to have a certain amount of options for exploration here.
Yeah.
I can't remember your exact words, but.
Yeah.
Ace feels so different from Revealer.
Yeah.
Musically, headspace,
Yeah.
all the rest of it. Is that a reflection of this? Does that enable you to do that? Like, the question is, did Revealer need to be played exactly the way the songs are with the band?
It did feel like there's a little bit of headiness in Revealer more than there is in Ace, and I wanted that to be the case. Like, I think I was really exhausted from touring Revealer. Like it was such like a
big album.
It's a big album, and I felt like an athlete, and I didn't want to feel like I wanted to feel more like a dancer this time. And I think Ace allows a ton of breathing room to try different things and to allow my mood to play into it. Like I get to be like, I feel like shit today, and so I'm gonna lean into whatever that is. And I think that can that provides a lot of honesty, and I don't know that I've felt a little dishonest by the end of Revealer, just because I was like, I'm so burnt out and tired of playing these somewhat technical songs. Like I want to free myself, and I want to free myself from the instrument too. Like, and I'll always love guitar, I'll always be here, but like it was just nice to like find a different tuning and to just open up a completely different portal of ideas, and yeah, my life definitely informed needing that change, and so it happened rather naturally, less calculated than we're talking about it now.
Sure.
But yeah, and I hope, and honestly, like it was cool, like when you're young and you're trying to, and I hope I still am, but like when you're green and you're fresh and you're like, the first impression is so important, and learning to cut through all of this incredible noise. Like there's so many incredible artists, and it felt of utmost importance to say something very clearly, and to be like, and I felt like I used guitar consciously as a way to be like, I want to be known as being good at this. And then, and then that can be burdensome, and you go, I don't even know if I want that mantle or title. And so I did a lot of like backing away from that. But I feel like I feel magnetized to guitar. And even if I have to like put a different costume on it or like turn it into something else to fool myself, like I'll always get back there. Yeah.
And you emphatically always sound like you. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the board then. As Madi was warming up, playing us some lovely stuff on the nylon string, it became apparent that the Artificial Blonde is always on, right? This vibrato sound that has become your thing. So if you want to zoom right out and go, what does Madi sound like? Down-tuned, alternate tuning, vibrato. Is that fair to say that's where we begin? Completely.
Yeah, I think that's where we end sometimes too. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Josh and I were talking about building, it was his idea to build the signature pedal. It wasn't necessarily in my Rolodex of ideas, but he basically just saw the way I was using his other pedals and thought like, let's just make something that is ready to use. It's stereo. It's the first stereo pedal they made.
Oh, wow.
So again, like I kind of use it as an EQ too. Like I use the EQ knob more than it's probably recommended to be used. But like between the rubber bridge and this guitar, there's a big like sonic difference. The rubber bridge is a lot darker and this is a lot brighter. So
I can't wait to get into that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we'll get into that for sure. But I genuinely just go like that for the rubber bridge.
Oh wow!
And
okay.
It gives enough of a difference to where I don't have to go to the amp and adjust there. So that's why I've marked it, so I know where to go back to when I change between guitars and stuff. But yeah, it's always on. Like it has been on for 4 or 5 years now.
Can we hear a little bit about a little bit of that?
It's not super overt, it's just pretty I was saying to you guys, like kind of seasick, nauseous, sort of a, like background. It's a feeling more than a sound.
Yeah.
I've just kind of stayed with this sort of a theme. But yeah, it's fun. I like a lot of people that use it switch between the two often, or like in between a song, and I think I love that about this.
So whether you're playing the nylon string, the rubber bridge, or an electric guitar,
Always
it's on. And you're always plugged into the amp through the board, regardless of guitar.
Yeah, I mean, this, I've been splitting between a DI and the board. So the DI is not with us, but we have like Taya, the sound engineer. She's mixing those kind of evenly.
Oh, so she has a direct thing from the guitar as well as the board, and then
as well as the
both.
board.
Great.
Yeah, which is great. I think it rounds out the tone in a very specific way. It's good for acoustic guitars generally. Yeah.
Are you using any of this other stuff with the nylon string?
Almost all of it, yeah. So yes, I use the fuzz. There's a looking up right now. Actually, I think my car battery might be dying, which I'm gonna fix. But sometimes I'll turn it on just for like a single note. I even love the feedback. It's great. Now you really hear the warble. It's fun. It's a really fun, like, we kind of let all of those sounds happen throughout the night.
And the way your gig is structured, you've got space just to let the sounds do their thing and create moments and...
Totally. Yeah, and I mean, I think we're in a church tonight, or like a church-like space, so it's like we've been in a lot of reverberant spaces like that, so those moments are quite fun.
Trinity in Bristol. Hopefully we'll see some of you there.
Yeah, I know. I hope so. Oh, and there's also, I should mention, there's a slap I've been using, and so dirty, sorry. And a boost that I'll involve every once in a while if needed.
What do you use the slap for?
Oh, I'll show you in a bit. It involves a certain rubber bridge that I've been using it for.
Let's do that.
Okay, should we do it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this one's fun. I was trying to figure out some of these songs and like which songs belonged on piano or guitar and so I decided for this song called Golden Gate to play it kind of like, because I play bass on the record for that song.
Just before we move on, are these guitars tuned the same?
No.
Of course they're not.
No. That one was CGD FAC. Actually, I lied. So that's the tuning that I found, but I take that tuning and take it a whole half step down. So that was B. I can't transpose.
Yeah, okay. We'll do that on screen.
Yeah. I'll let you do that later. So this is C standard, but now I'm on capo 4, so that's putting me basically to
E?
Yeah, E, but then I've just tuned it down to D, so it's a mess, as you can see.
And now we've got Flatwounds, we've got the rubber bridge.
Flatwounds, rubber bridge.
And is this is the guitar we've seen?
This is the one. This is the one. I think I've said this before, and I don't feel like it's gonna come back to bite me in the ass, but I do think that this is the best sounding one. And Ruben's made a lot, but I think this is one of his best. So, what I decided to do, so I'm gonna flip the EQ. Golden Gate, I had originally kind of just been like doing this thing. I feel like you play songs long enough on tour and you're like, something could be grittier, and then I kind of figured out halfway through that this isn't cool. Do that thing the whole time, which is fun. And then I think this happens eventually. Yeah. And then I switch this on because then I'm kind of the honorary bass player. Yeah.
That is so cool. When you said you're the honorary bass player, do you loop that or do you just switch between?
I'm just doing all those switches as the song goes, which is, yeah, you'll see tonight if it works or not. But it's been one of the harder songs to make feel like music, but I think we finally, and then it's me and the bass clarinet kind of like driving the motor of the song. It's been really fun. It's been really satisfying as someone who loves baritone guitar to mix that with like a baritone reed instrument. It's very like very teethy in a very surprising way.
How did you discover the rubber bridge and the flatwounds and this sound?
I mean, it was kind of taking over Los Angeles for a minute. It felt kind of uniquely Californian, and then like, you know, the big guns like Taylor Swift kind of started putting it on her album, and then every indie artist started playing it. And to be honest with you, it has become this kind of tongue-in-cheek joke in LA. It's kind of like, oh, nice, you play the rubber, you know. But I still love it. Like, it serves this very specific purpose that I don't really use it necessarily to strum, but like for picking and wanting to do things that are more syncopated like that, because there's no drummer. No, you know, I'm the drummer, bass player, and rhythm guitarist, so it's really nice to like have that as an option. And it sounds kind of banjo-y at times. It's like a very silky instrument. I dig it.
Did Blake Mills do it? Did he?
Totally.
Yeah.
I would say he started it in a lot of ways. Like him and Reuben Cox was like, I'm probably gonna mix up the sequence of how this went down, but I think Reuben was kind of like thinking about doing something like that, and him and Blake kind of worked on it together. Yeah. But yeah, and you know, like everybody was copying Blake and stuff, and so
yeah, he was the thing, wasn't he? I remember. So I came to you via Revealer. That's where I came in, right? And when I spun that record for the first time, I thought, Blake Mills produced this. He must have produced this. Yeah. I thought he must have done. So I researched it and found out it was Tyler, and it was all different. But I assume some influences there got to be.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, he's amazing. It's hard to play guitar and not like, or electric guitar and not think about, you know, him. He also does open tunings. I was listening to, when I was young and moving to LA, like, I was listening to him, and then a lot of Ry Cooder, and I know that Ry Cooder is an influence on him. Yeah. And so just they both sound so specifically West Coast to me, which is so cool to have like a regional like kind of accent in music. Like, and I think they have that, and I think I felt really drawn. I was listening to a lot of Juana Molina at the time too, and she sounds very like deserty and dry, and I just kind of wanted to like make my sound like that. Like, I ditched reverb forever. Like, I was like, fuck that, I'm not ever playing reverb. And then And then, I mean, we got a little on today. It comes back around
Just
eventually.
a hair.
There's also, I will say, like, I used this harmonizer for a song. Actually, let me tune this really quick. Called Broken Harvest. Wrote the song with the harmonizer, so because there's only so many moves you can make with a harmonizer without it sounding insufferable, kind of. So yeah. Anyway, that's why I have this massive pedal on my board, is literally just for those two moves. There's probably a simpler way, but.
So you mentioned harmonizer. Then only certain things you can play with a harmonizer, obviously. Otherwise, the chords are all wrong. Could we talk about that just briefly? Like, did you go to school for music, or did you learn music? Because you start then hanging out with people like Chris Thiele and Jacob Collier, and it's like, okay, you obviously have vast harmonic knowledge.
I didn't go to school for music, wasn't formally trained. It's all kind of like I'm mainly self-taught. But yeah, so I mean, standing next to those two people, I mean, God, like Chris, growing up working with him, he is, we have so many parallels in our life. We both grew up in Vista, both homeschooled. So and both like loved music, and we weren't formally trained, but Chris is just like, he taught himself to be formally trained, basically, which is kind of crazy. Like, yeah, he's a genius, but I'm nowhere close to that. Like I still feel like I'm operating off of like a lot of mystery and instinct, less like I know theory basically, but I'm not like, I can't really sit down and break it down at this moment.
I just want to ask, but one thing that I'm a big harmony fan, and I love interesting changes, and I think just hearing your XTC cover that you did with Chris and Jacob, because
I didn't know this.
Yeah, so I'm a massive XTC fan. The reason I'm here is because of XTC.
Really?
Yeah, it's a bizarre story. I'm the world's most successful stalker. Certainly in Ace, hearing certain things, especially in the orchestration, I can hear the XTC influence in there.
For sure.
Where did you discover XTC?
Well, through Chris. So on his radio show called Live From Here, we were covering songs every week, and he suggested we cover River of Orchids, and I learned all of the those harmony parts, and I just was like, this is the best song I've ever heard in my life. Come to find out, that record was only on YouTube at the time, so it was like a very frustrating process of trying to listen to that, and then they just put it out on streaming platforms a year ago. But I think someone had sent me the Dropbox link of Apple Venus, and so I was just obsessed. I just thought this is inventive orchestral music, and it all sounded MIDI to me at first. I think come to find that it's not, but I loved that. I loved that it sounded almost like contorted in this original way. I'm such a fan. And
the way that Andy Partridge writes chords reminds me very much of your harmony, because Andy once told me, we were having a conversation about songwriting, and he said, I'll tell you a secret. He said, the more complex the harmony is, the simpler the melody has to be. But the simpler the harmony is, you can go really complicated with the melody and make it work. It's like, oh man,
so true. Brian Wilson's the king of that.
Yes,
Brian Wilson understands that marriage of things so well, more than we were listening to Little Beach Boys on the drive yesterday, and I just was like, these changes are unbelievably heady, but everybody knows this song. Yeah, everybody sings this. How, I don't know that anyone is doing that. No one's doing that right now. I don't think I'm sure it's possible, but no one is.
But you are. You are in the way that the changes, I think you're going to go in one direction and you'll go another way, but the melody always works. And is this something is this a conscious thing, or are you hearing the changes in the harmony at the same time as the melody? Does it all come down the pipe together?
Oh, when it's going right, it does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
But I feel like, and maybe I don't mean to like trash anything that I've done. I'm so proud of my records, but there are moments, and I think that's important to call them out when you see them. It's just for like the sake of evolution. But like, there are moments that I know my writing process was really laborious because I would come up with an idea that was like, this is so cool, and I don't know how to like match it with sentiment and melody, and so I'm really wary of ideas that feel too cool because they'll kind of never really be done sometimes in an earnest way. If you let them become too cool to you, like they have to kind of come down the pipe earnestly at the same time.
Yeah, right.
So that no part of it is intimidated by the other. And that's, I've found myself in those traps, and those songs take forever to write, and I listen to them and I'm like, I can hear how hard that was to write.
You hear the process.
For me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe for someone else they don't, but like I don't like playing those songs anymore.
Right.
And Ace was like the quickest I've ever written anything in my life. It was all written in 2 months. And it sounds like dense and complicated to some, but for me it wasn't. Like it was all just like it came out at the same time, and I just had the right pieces. Like I had that tuning.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of just stuck with that. Like, and it, you know, I don't know. It was a very strange, like, kind of once in a lifetime thing, maybe. Like, felt like a fluke in a cool way. But everything else has been like a hard. I think I'm just moving forward, just trying to position myself to like have all of the ideas happening at once, and to be a little bit less precious or aware of it happening.
Presumably that is flow, and that is progression as an artist,
Yeah.
because you learn to recognize it, and you learn to recognize what works,
Yeah.
and then having the courage to say, yeah, I'm gonna develop. I'm not gonna do Revealer Mark
Part 2,
2
yeah.
or Rachel Part 2 or whatever it is. It's like, no, I'm gonna. And every great artist in history has done that.
Right, and you don't want to like impersonate yourself.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to not take lessons from what's working. Like I think Life According to Rachael, I didn't want to like emulate that again, but I knew that was an opening to a different.
Yeah.
That
okay.
was a door.
Yeah.
And I think that
amazing.
was the first like door of opening Ace, and all of those songs and the way that they move and.
Go and listen to it. When it first came, I was listening to it in the car, and it came on. I had to pull over. I had to pull over and listen to it again and again and again. I was like, what the hell is this? What am I hearing? What year is it? Because it sounds like the most modern thing I'd ever heard. And it sounded like it was straight out of the 50s. And everything. Anyway, I'll stop eulogizing. I'm going to cry. Yeah, it's a big moment. And I'll say courage again, you know, to have the courage to then go onwards.
And even now, I'm in the same position of like I love Ace and like onwards. Like what is the next emotional outpouring? Like
prog metal, I think.
Right.
The new direction.
Oh God, let it not be so. That sounds like a burden.
When I heard your first album, Where Are We Now, I thought it was Blake Mills playing guitar.
Oh, sick.
Right? And then to find out that it was, because, you know, I had no idea your age or anything like that. It's like, hang on, this is a 21-year-old girl who has this groove and your timing, and then watching the Tiny Desk concert that you did. And it's like, have you always had that sense of time? Is that something that you've just was in you?
My dad, I mean, so he's a drummer first, and they used to call him the drummer strummer. So I think like that was like my environment from when I was a kid. So that might be in my DNA too. I feel like that's always been one of the most important things to me, and that's why I would consider myself to be more of a rhythmic guitar player, less of a instrumentalist, less of a solo. Like I don't think I'm even a lead guitarist in some. Like I can put on that hat, but I feel so much more confident in And I think that's so underrated. Like, that's one of the best parts about any genre of music is the person who's like, I think about like funk or like the best versions of funk, first versions of funk. It's like it's so much about the rhythm player, not the noodler.
Yeah.
You know?
It's rhythm in a really unique way, though. So if you think about something like, I don't know, All I've Ever Known or Hospital, you're not banging away on a power chord, right?
Yeah.
It's a fairly complex
Totally.
approach and usually a structure within that.
Yeah.
And the related question is time signatures.
Yeah.
There's a number of songs on that record that were 7, definitely one that was 6.
Yeah. Definitely 6. I love 6/8 is my forever, like, that's my Achilles heel. Like, I love that signature. I could probably do with like less of it, but I love it. It'll never leave.
And I've often wondered if that starts from going, I'm going to write a song in whatever, let's say 7, for example, or it's the result of you sitting there jamming it out and that just how it comes out.
Oh, I didn't do. I think the things I was listening to kind of created a different meter in my head, and then I would play these songs and be like, oh, I didn't know that it was in this time signature, but people who were learning the songs would be like, oh, I had to sit down and, you know, like count it out. And I feel like Chris Thiele said, he was like, you know, I think the goal is like if you're playing a different time signature, it's that nobody knows.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I got a little worried at some point when people were like, whoa, you're playing in set, I was like, oh, if that's the first thing you're thinking about, then we're not making music. Like, something's wrong. So, you know, there's a song, that song Skeletry on the album, it goes into 5, and I didn't know.
Okay.
Wow.
I genuinely was like, oh, this is cool. This feels right. And it works with the phrasing of what I'm trying to say. And then my bandmates were like, they started counting it. And I got worried, but I just think no one was really thinking about that, unless, you know, I don't know.
So for Pin It Down, like that I'm assuming you wrote that riff and then the song around the riff, you weren't aware you were doing a 7 thing.
No, well, actually, to be honest, originally, let's see if it's. Originally, I had gone like, wait, what the hell is this? Oh yeah, that's it. I can't pin it down. I can't, and something like genuinely, it felt wrong, and it felt. I think it was because the length of what I was, you know, that phrase.
Yeah.
It's so much, like, there's so much more, like, for lack of a better word, Botox in that. Like, it's very, like, tight and structured. But, like, that became, like, Madison, she plays in these different tunings. And it's so funny, signatures. And I actually, like, started after a time to get embarrassed by it. I was like, I don't want to be that person. I don't know why. It's really funny. But it was genuinely interesting to me. And Juana Molina, I was listening to her a ton, and she was doing that seamlessly, and I just was like, this is the coolest shit I've ever heard. Still is. But yeah.
Can I, sorry, just to keep poking you with a stick, can you just, the riff, the opening riff to Pin It Down.
Yeah, I got you.
How do you play that?
It's the dumbest shit. Seriously. It really is. It's so, it's kind of out of tune, kind of cool. It's just C standard, so, you know, that's a G chord.
Yeah.
You know that. So just.
Man.
Same here.
Yep.
But that's disguised, like, that sounds really dumb if I were to play it like. But because of the ghost notes, I think it sounds cool.
Yeah.
When I stand back, I see a little clearer now. When I'm not staring right at a picture.
There you go. Just a rhythm guitar player, apparently.
Far out. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Wow.
And the uniqueness of the sound, like
completely.
Writing sound, you're you. Then you're you.
Thank you. That's the kind, like, that to me is the kindest thing that anyone could say. Is like, you sound like yourself and not, and you know, I think everybody has to like kind of get over their musical crushes at some point, because that gets us all started. That gets us all in love with life and music, is those people, those artists. And then eventually you're like, I don't really like when people say, you sound like Joni Mitchell. Like that should be a little bit of a red flag or concerning. And that still, I'm sure, is innate. Like I think some of those ghosts never leave. Like those are like the people that inform us about who we are. And, you know, so I don't know.
There's only one line I've ever thought Joni Mitchell.
Oh, really? That's fine.
I lost my heart to the great Golden State.
Oh, really?
And the Lanterns of Little Tokyo. And I'm like, that's Joni.
Oh,
that sounds
weird.
really Joni. And then that was it, one line.
I fucking love that.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I don't even care.
All right,
Oh, pedals. Oh, my God.
I'm going to cry again.
Your turn this time.
Yeah, I know. Chroma Console then. What were you using that for?
Honestly, this is embarrassing. Again, like, this is also a very unnecessarily big board for how little I'm using. I mean, I'm using all of it, but like, this pedal is huge and I just use it for this every once in a while. It's so silly. Like, it's very like, you know, I don't know. It's silly. And you can change that. Or you could do the lower. Can't even hear that one. Yeah, that's it. But it does so many other things. Like, genuinely, it's got a great fuzz on it.
So cool.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's what I just used the reverse. After all that, oh, the swell is kind of cool. I think it kind of controls. Oh, I can't hear it really. Oh, because I didn't turn it on. Just kind of doing the thing that, you know, this would probably do for you. Yeah.
Wicked. Loop station? What were you using that for?
Oh yeah, I should show you. I'll switch back to this guitar. Actually, it's at the end of a song called Goodwill. Let's see. Let's see if I. Oh, it's actually fun. So let's see.
And that all happens on the fly.
Yeah, so I'll do that live.
Yeah.
And then Jesse and I do this whole outro together where then I reverse it and put down the guitar and sing over it. And he's adding all these other loops and his bass clarinet turns into like... We've just gone through the craziest journey together trying to construct the show, but his bass clarinet, he puts through an octave pedal, so then it goes like a whole octave down, and then he's like, it's very Viking, and he like does this thing, and then I'm like singing, and there's delay and that reverse. It's really fun.
What I love about this, we interviewed Bill Frisell a couple of weeks ago, right? And the parallels in what he says and what you say, and the clarity of your artistry is the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think in a world of guitar pedals and in a world where we are here obsessing over gear the whole time, it is a wonderful reminder that it is about music.
Yeah.
Everything you play sounds like music.
Yeah.
Never like, for the sake of it.
That is so good. Thank you. That's
Every sound has a purpose.
yeah.
It's tonic. And I think we can all learn from that, people.
That's wonderful.
Anyone watching this, obviously there'll be a lot of Madi fans watching this, but regular TPS viewers, if you take one thing from today's video, take it to heart, please. Killer.
Yeah, amazing.
This was fun.
Well, look,
We're a
thank
bit
you so
overwhelmed.
much. And thank you for the music. The world is a better place for having you in it. And we're so grateful just to be able to go and stick your tunes onto the car and like, oh, this is what it's all about. It's
You're
brilliant.
gonna make me cry. You gotta stop that.
It's music. It's music.
Yeah, no, thank you so
Let's
much.
ask you the inevitable question then. So, where next? It's been such an unpredictable journey so far.
I don't even know. I feel like this question feels quite looming because I'm 29 and I'm gonna turn 30 this year, and so much has happened in this decade. So many beautiful, so many like horrendous things too. Like it's been so everything is completely wide open, and that's as beautiful as it is horrifying. So I think I'm just gonna do what I've always done, which is just like find the thing that makes me excited again, and then go through the phase where it's like I can't do this. I'll never know how to write a song again. You have to go through that, and then you do write again, and then it's kind of like, this is such a dumb analogy and it's probably been overused, but childbirth must be the same, because it's like it's so horrible when it like the process is so beautiful, and then when you actually deliver, it's so painful. But then you have amnesia for it, and you kind of want to. A lot of people want to do it again, which is crazy.
Almost immediately. apparently.
Almost immediately for a lot of folks, and some people never again. But I think that's probably where I'm at, is knowing what an uphill climb it is to grow something like that. And how satisfying. There's nothing more satisfying.
Do you like recording? Do you like it?
Probably more than touring in some ways.
Yeah, okay.
It's so cool, and you can keep like, it's the one thing that you can like. Recording's so wonderful because you can speak into the room, and you can also take it back. Like,
Oh yeah.
you can
okay.
like put something down and take it back. And in a live show, I've learned this heavily because these songs are so personal. And there's been, again, like I said, I can tell that there are people in the audience that are like, why didn't you play? Like, I feel that, but very intentionally have been like, I've chosen this journey and these songs. And if you want to see me again in 2 years, I'll probably play the other songs again. But there has to be such a conscious level of like, what I'm doing, I can't really take back. Like, and I've been trying to not look at any posts or things that people say about it, just in order to like let that moment be that moment and move on to the next one, and not. So I've been really trying to be like, I'm not on Instagram, and I'm not always successful at it, and some things have made me feel like unnecessarily excited and unnecessarily very low. Because what do they say? Like, if people think you're the greatest thing ever, don't believe them. If people think you're the worst thing ever, don't believe them.
Yeah,
like,
right.
both are true. So
We see that in microcosm
yeah,
because
right.
our lives are digital. So we see a small
Right.
amount of it. So imagining what it must be when you're an artist and you're out there is,
It's so personal.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
so
It is.
and you go like, it's not personal, but that's bullshit. It is. Everything about it is. And when you're a professional, you learn how to parse through what part of it you take on and what part of it you don't. And that's the whole thing. And often I'm like, I'm not a professional because it all affects me. And then I go back, but it's learning how to
But you are an artist and in touch emotionally, because you have to do what you do. You have to be.
yeah, you do.
Like, I mean, I know we did a sort of rough any, but
Sorry, I fucked it up.
No. One last. I mean, listening to some of your songs are intensely personal,
Yeah.
right? And there's this often thing we think, oh, you know, it's really good to get the stuff out there. But what's the cost to getting that stuff out?
Right. And what is the actual reward? Like, my friend put it so beautifully. She was like talking about making, I think it was a podcast or a series that took so much. It like kind of put relationships on the back burner. It like sacrificed all of the most important things, but for like this higher calling of art and storytelling. And then she was like, there's like this postpartum sadness that I feel once it's out, where basically I'm never going to get back completely what I put into it.
Right.
And so that's the cost. It's like always, there's always a deficit, or you're always in debt a little bit emotionally. And you kind of have to just decide where the line is for you. Like for me now, on a very personal front, like there's so much to protect. And I'm learning more of like what I can sacrifice for the sake of like higher art and for people that I don't even know.
Yeah.
How much do you give?
Yeah.
And how much do you... This whole process has been a whirlwind of like, I've given too little or I've given too much. And I don't know that you know what to do on the onset. You don't know what the right balance of anything is until you like, you step out. You know?
It's the moments of reflection that are the problem though, isn't it? Because when you're involved in creating art, you're doing it for the doing. That's why. That's the only reason you're doing it. You're not doing it for the result. You're doing it because you're compelled to do it.
Yeah.
And then when it's done, then you have to turn around and
worry about a result.
Yeah, literally face the music. Right?
Yeah. That part feels so corrupt. It feels corrupt for everybody. Like everybody feels shortchanged by that, but it is the world that we live in, and we all just have to make peace with what, again, draw our lines in the sand.
Yeah. How many songs will you write for an album?
This one, almost, like there was a couple that didn't get finished, but basically almost every song I wrote ended up on the album. But yeah, usually I'll write beyond that, and there will be songs that will never get mentioned again that were important stepping stones to get to where I wanted to go. But yeah, this one was like, it was so apparent that I couldn't write any more or any less than that. And at the time, my label were like, there has to be one less song on the record. And I understood why. I also couldn't fit on vinyl. And then we found a guy in Germany who was like, I can do it. And so he did that. And we kept it. I was like, there's not a single like sentiment that is going to be left off of the record. So
Amazing.
Wow. Okay, go and listen to Madison Cunningham now and keep doing that a lot. Maddie, thank you so much for coming in.
It's been amazing. What a trip.
We've gushed a bit, hopefully not too much.
No, this gave me, put wind in my sails, so thank you.
All right. Okay, do all the things, links below. Thank you for watching that pedal show. Again, Maddie, thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
Bye.